Hi guys, it is Christy from Christy Canvas, and if you are new to my channel, I am a neurodivergent artist and art educator. I try to tell you guys some ADHD tips, what I struggle with as an ADHD and ADD artist. If you guys have been following my channel, you know that I have been painting wooden slabs. This is a summer theme that I did. So just for reference, I think what I'm gonna do with this slab is make a winter version of that same tree. I'm kind of testing out my boundaries, seeing what I like and what I don't like. My goal is to buy wooden slabs next and start painting on them and selling them. If you guys like what I'm doing with this, let me know in the comments below. I think what I'm gonna do is either winter or spring on this slab, because I already have the rough draft of the winter on my iPad. We're on day 1. It is spring, so you know I do not like winter at all. We'll see what my gut tells me what to do with this.
I always like to show you guys how the painting starts out. I always think it's so crazy how it ends. I also didn't record me gessoing this slice of wood beforehand. You always want to gesso over any surface you plan on painting. Otherwise, the paint's gonna chip off. I thought I would add the color that I'm making. I figured you guys would want to see the mixing of the paint. I know those are really big on TikTok. What I'm doing right now is first drawing the tree out in paint and then going over the shadows. I have to be in a particular mood when I'm doing this. The mood is to cover as much painting as possible and not focus on details.
This is layer 1 of the winter tree done. So crazy to see what it looks like, because by the time I'm done, it will not look like this at all. Usually I start from light to dark because that's what one of my college professors advised me to do. He just said that it makes it look a lot brighter. For the winter time, I'm gonna go from dark to light, just because with it being winter, there's obviously gonna be a lot of light colors, so I really need to get the setting down and figure out how to build the painting up.
So here I go again. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm creating a light blue now that I've first drawn out the tree using dark colors. Now I'm gonna create like a middle ground of a medium color. This is not the time to get detail oriented. I'm just filling in as much color and area as I can. I don't let myself zoom into the picture that I'm using as a reference, because I'm just putting in blocks of color at this point, and I'm focusing on the shadows and the highlights. I had an old college professor tell me that he used to take his glasses off when he would paint, but your girl is blind, so I can't be doing that, but I wish I could. I do see how that could be helpful, just not helpful for me.
This is what I have done so far. I don't know if you guys have seen Avatar, but you know how Aang has to learn all 4 elements and then incorporate all of them together to fight the Fire Lord. That's what painting is kind of like. You want to incorporate all the techniques you use for different media. So if you're a 3D artist, or I'm more of a 2D artist, but I think about with clay how there's a step-by-step process. You want to build up your world before you can go in with the details. So I have to lay down all the paint and make sure that I have the background first done. Then you start working on the foreground and then go in. The last thing you should do is the details. Now, that's just my opinion. That's what I'm working on, going nice and slow, trying to get all the background done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, how it's turning out.
I haven't been able to focus on a new art project in literally months, so it feels so good to be able to paint again. I forgot how good it feels to get lost and sucked into a show and just be able to paint for even a few hours. It's so relaxing, and it kind of makes me sad that I haven't been able to do this for a while, but it is what it is. I just remind myself I'm doing the best that I can. This is all that I'm going to be able to get done for today, and I will see you next time.
Hey guys, it is Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 2 painting my winter themed wood slice. I wanted to get on here and say thank you guys for your patience and understanding with the mic. I edited the first section of this video and I realized that I had it way too close to my mouth. I think it's like a neurodivergent thing where I'm either talking way too loud or quiet. At that point, it was way too loud. Thank you guys for joining me on this learning curve. I think I'll get the hang of it. It's just gonna take me a few it dries. The area that I live in has some really bad storm warning, so I'm kind of in a rush and I just want to get started. My apartment does not have a basement, so I've got to go stay with my family tonight just to be on the safe side. My goal is to just add another base layer to the painting. This is the frustrating part, is that I am not adding any details at this point. My focus is just adding blotches of color. I'm kind of in a rush today, so let's go ahead and get started.
As I settle into day 2 of this winter landscape, I'm really leaning into the stillness of the scene. There's something about the quiet of winter that feels like a blank page, peaceful but also full of possibility. Today, I'm focusing on building up the sky and defining some of the tree. I want the colors to feel soft, cold, like the air right before a snowfall. I've been thinking a lot about how winter strips everything back, and it leaves just the essentials, and somehow that's what makes it beautiful. This piece is really about capturing that calm, almost like a pause in time. I'm letting the brush guide me, not worrying too much about perfection, just following the rhythm of the landscape. I don't want this to be too depressing. As I mentioned before, I'm not really the biggest fan of winter. It's going to be a challenge for me to capture the winter presence while not making it too depressing to look at. I'm really just enjoying the slow build. There's something calming about layering in the sky. Soft blues, a bit of gray, trying to capture that chilly stillness that you feel right before the snow starts to fall. I love how winter scenes kind of strip everything down to the basics. No distractions, just light, shape, and quiet. It gives me space to breathe, and I think that's what I'm trying to reflect here. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey guys, it's Christy from Christy Canvas. I would be lying to you guys if I said I remember what day we're on with our winter wooden slab. This is what I have done so far. Now, I know I've said before in my video that I don't like winter. I'm not a big fan of winter. This is looking really bleak, even for someone who does not like winter. Honestly, I feel like it looks almost too bleak, because even though I don't like winter, this is a bit depressing. And in the wintertime, especially if I want this out, I want it to not be so depressing to look at. So I think what I'm gonna do is try and add some little details, maybe add a layer of blue just to give it more of like a comfy Christmas vibe instead of like bleak and depressing. I wanted to check in and let you guys know what the goal is today. It is raining like crazy. We are on a flash flood where I live. Could not even leave my house if I wanted to. I feel like today is a good day to work on some art projects that I have. Let me know in the comments below how your guys' weather is, what your favorite season is. Let's go ahead and get started.
I know winter can feel heavy for a lot of us, myself included. I struggle with seasonal depression, so when I set out to paint a winter scene, I knew I wanted it to reflect more of the quiet magic and warmth that winter can have, not just the cold or the gray. That's why I'm focusing on soft snow, gentle light, and tiny cozy details. I want this piece to feel like a moment of calm, like when you're inside with a warm drink and the world outside is hushed and still. Art has been a big part of how I care for myself during the colder months, slowing down, focusing on tiny brushstrokes, letting the scene come to life. It reminds me that there's still beauty even in the quiet and the cold. Today I'm adding more depth to the trees and softening the background, snow. I'm also thinking about where the light source is coming from. I chose this palette intentionally, cool tones based with warm highlights, because I wanted it to feel chilly but not lonely. There's a big difference. Winter may slow things down, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's the quiet moments like this that help us reconnect with ourselves. Thanks for spending a part of your day with me. If you're going through a tough winter too, I hope this little piece brings you a moment of peace. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates and maybe a surprise detail or two. Stay cozy and take care of yourself. And if you like watching this content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Anything helps out me and my channel.
Hey guys, it's Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 3, I think, of working on my winter themed wooden slab. I just noticed the reflections of my fish tank on the window. Anyway, it ended up flash flooding in my area. My car broke down literally on Friday. So I'm like wrapped in my house all weekend. So I figured this is a great time to work on art. I am Noah art into my apartment. Rainy, it's gloomy. I have no excuses why I shouldn't be working on art. And I find that the rainy days are the best days to paint and work on anything that I need to for my art business, because then I'm not distracted and I don't want to go outside
outside and blah, 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 blah. Today's goal is I am going to be peeling the tape off of the wooden slab. Now I put tape around to keep the paint from getting on the bark. Now my future goal with this is to eventually learn how to use resin to varnish the wood completely. And I think that would be a really great thing to add, especially because I plan on selling these. I haven't worked with resin before and I don't have resin, so this is like a future goal. Whenever you put tape around, what happens is that if you don't peel it off, the surface can become uneven because you have one surface higher than the taped surface. I honestly should have probably peeled the tape off before. The earlier the better. I wanted to keep that circle shape whenever I started painting. So now I need to peel the tape before I can continue to paint, because what's going to happen is that surface is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and you don't want that. Already it's going to be kind of a challenge to fix the uneven surface. Try and make this very ASMR, aesthetically pleasing. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm gonna try to put the mic so you guys can hear the crisp tape. We'll see what happens. Welcome back to day 4 of my winter wood slice painting. If you've been following along, this is where we left off yesterday, and I have to say I'm really loving how this little winter world is coming together. Today we're doing something incredibly satisfying. We're peeling off the tape that's been protecting the edge of the wood. This part always feels like unwrapping a gift. I like doing this before the painting's fully finished. It helps me get a better sense of the composition and lets the piece breathe a little. Also, who doesn't love clean edges? There's something about that contrast between the natural wood and the painted center that just makes the scene pop. It's like winter tucked itself into the grain. Today's focus is all about refining the edges. I want this piece to feel like a perfect little portal into a winter scene, so I'm taking the time to really clean up the circular shape. I actually peeled the tape off earlier, but now I'm reapplying it so I can go in and carefully repaint the outer edges. It might seem like a small detail, but it makes such a big difference when the circle feels clean and intentional. There's something satisfying about this process, a kind of reset, like tightening up the edges of a thought so the idea inside can shine. I'm using a careful hand here to make sure that circle looks neat and even. That crisp edge against the wood helps bring out the contrast between the natural and the imagined, between the world we see and the one we're creating. This part is quiet work, but it's also really meaningful. It's where the whole piece starts to feel complete. I like to think of it as giving the painting its frame, even if it's just paint and tape and wood. Now that the edges are clean and the shape feels right, I'm easing back into the painting itself. It's always interesting how quiet these transitions feel, like stepping back into a quiet dream. Today I'm focusing on blending a few areas and building up more softness in the snow. I want the scene to feel light and a little dreamy, like the world has been hushed by fresh snowfall. One thing I've learned about winter, and maybe about art too, is that it's not just about adding. It's about knowing where to hold back, where to let the blank space do the talking. So I'm taking my time with the little things today. Light in the snow, depth in the branches, the tiniest color shifts that might not even be noticed at first glance. But they're there and they matter. This part of the process always helps me slow down. It reminds me that not everything needs to be finished all at once. It's okay to linger in the middle of things. This reminds me how even in creative work, structure and freedom can go hand in hand. I don't know about you guys, but I personally really struggle with finding the balance between freedom and creativity and structure, because I hate being suffocated with rules. Then again, when I have no structure, it honestly just stresses me out. So comment down a blue heart or if you can relate to this at all. Thank you guys for being here. Truly, these small, quiet painting sessions mean a lot, and I hope they bring you a little peace too. We'll keep building this little winter world together. This is what I got done so far today. I don't know if you guys can see how the surface is uneven. I'm going to try my best to even it out. And what I did with my summer wooden slab is that I painted gold around the wood. And I think like with winter, I think it's silver. I think I'm going to add silver around the edges and then put some silver in here. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, it's Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 4, I believe. We are almost done. I feel like I just just need to go in with the details. Then I'm done with this bad boy, which is super exciting because the last time I did this took me forever to do, probably 2 months. The fact that I got this done so quick makes me very proud because that shows me how much I've grown as an artist. So I think today's goal is I'm gonna go in and get all the little details. You want to do details as the last thing you do. Remember how I told you guys it's starting to look a little bleak? It's starting to look a little bleak again. So I might go over it with a blue coat of paint and try and make it look more Christmassy instead of so dark and dreary. Winter is already hard enough and I don't want to be reminded about how hard it is every time I look at this. Definitely want to work on the lantern today, work on making this surface even. But other than that, I'm super proud. I think it looks fantastic. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and get started. Today is all about the small things, the quiet brushstrokes that pull everything together. These are the moments that often go unnoticed. A tiny highlight on a tree, the curve of a shadow, the glow of that little lantern that I love so much. It's slow work, but it's meaningful. It's where the painting starts to feel real, like you could step inside and feel the snow crunch under your boots. I am curious to see how well the prints of these sell because I'm not a big winter fan myself. I'm curious to see who is and if there's any winter diehard fans like there are for fall. Thanks for being here with me. I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, it is Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 5 of painting our winter wooden slab. I am almost done with this baddie. I just need to really get in on the details. As I mentioned before, I think it's just a little bit too dark and dreary again. I think what I'm gonna do is do another layer of blue on top, and then my lantern needs work. I think I'm really gonna hone in on the details within the lantern. I feel really torn if I should do silver around the wood because the surface is so smooth. Gold on the other one, let me show you. You can barely see the gold. I like that it's very demure, very respectful, right? That's what I want to see. It's so crazy to see the difference between my two paintings. I did this one back in 2023 compared to now. I don't know. Can you guys see much of a difference? I feel like I can. I like the gold around it. I want to do silver, so I might just go ahead and just try it and see what happens. There's really nothing much to lose here because this is for me and not a commission. It also, I've made it way too dark, I think, so I'm gonna go in and add some light. I like to flick some snow on it, but I'm almost out of tape and I forgot to buy some. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and get started, and thanks for watching. Welcome to day 6 of my winter wood slice painting. Today is all about light, softening the darkness and gently lifting the mood of the whole scene. I'm adding a thin blue glaze to the background, cool but not cold. I wanted to move away from that heavy overcast feeling and bring in something softer, something that feels more like peace than gloom. This glaze lets the details underneath peek through, but it changes the whole energy. Suddenly the shadows feel gentler. The air feels lighter. It's a subtle shift, but it reminds me that even the smallest change in light can make a space feel completely different. And honestly, that's comforting. We've only got 2 more days after this, and I can already feel this little world becoming something really special. Thanks for sharing this quiet moment with me.
Hey guys, it is Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 5 or 6 of painting my wooden slab. I think I'm done. I'm gonna go over the white a few more times and then maybe some details of the lantern, but I feel like I'm pretty much done. I love how it looks. Definitely looks less dark and dreary. I tried to sand out that uneven layer and I think it helped a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Go ahead and get started.
Welcome to day 7 of this winter wood slice painting. Today I'm pulling out my white acrylic paint marker, one of my favorite tools for finishing touches. It's amazing what a few bright lines can do. These tiny details are like the last snowfall, soft, quiet, but full of magic. I'm using the marker to highlight tree branches, snowdrifts, and anywhere I want the light to gently catch. It adds clarity and contrast, but it also brings a little sparkle to the story. After all the layering and soft blending, these crisp little marks feel like punctuation. And now the part that always feels a little personal. I'm signing my name. First in silver, then a tiny highlight in white to help it catch the light. It's a quiet claim, not a bold statement, just a way of saying I was here, I made this. Tomorrow is our final day, and I can't wait to show you how this little winter world finally comes together.
Hey guys, it is Christy from Christy Canvas. We are on day 7 of painting my wooden winter slab. Weather today is atrocious. It is raining. I don't know if you guys remember, I just survived a flood, tornadoes. April in the Midwest is actually insane. We are under another flood warning. I don't know if you guys can tell how dark it is in my house right now. I am finally finished with the wooden slab. I love it. I think it's great, beautiful how it turned out. It really shows the quietness of winter, which is what I wanted. I don't think it's too depressing where if I have this up in my house, I'm not gonna want to look at it. I think I got the blue in. Overall, I'm super proud of myself and I love how it turned out. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think and what you like about it, what you don't. That being said, what I need to do is I need to varnish it. I am scared because the weather is so bad outside right now. It stopped raining, but it's supposed to rain all day, so I don't know if I should go outside to my back porch and spray it or if I should wait. How I varnish my paintings, my wooden paintings anyway, I just take this spray paint and I spray it. I would love to get into resin one day. I don't got the money to be experimenting right now. This is what I'm using. Usually I do about 3 coats and it's not raining, so let's go ahead and try. Guys, this is what it looks like so far. My back porch is kind of a mess, so don't judge me. I made a deal with myself this year that if I don't finish a project, I can't move on to a new project. And with my ADHD, I've already thought of so many new projects that I want to start. I'm not allowing myself to move on until I finish what I started. The wood slab is almost done. I need to get this done. I've waited long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and do another coat of the sealant. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain. It is raining, but it seems like it's not hitting my art piece. I'm gonna go ahead and try and spray it. I don't think you guys can see it and maybe hear it with the mic. It's so beautiful. This spray is toxic. If you are going to use it, quick disclaimer, I don't have a mask yet, so that's why I always spray outside and I hold my breath when I do it and I don't breathe till I come back in, so hopefully that's good enough. It is on my to-do list to get a mask just because you want to take every precaution necessary. Just a heads up with that. I will probably need to do one more coat and then it will be good to go. I'm so excited to finish this project and to move on. I've got a new series coming up where I am selling my art and my art prints to save up for a car because your girl desperately needs a car. Now it's magically sunny. It's been long enough, so I'm going to take advantage of this and go ahead and spray the painting for the last time. Let's go get this over with before it starts raining again. I think I can hear it thundering, which is so scary because the sun's out and it's so beautiful. Look at this, you guys. Y'all saw what it looked like this morning. Somehow we made it to the end of this painting. Did I get distracted? Yes, I did. Here it is. I absolutely love it. Love how it turned out. The winter tree is done. If you guys vibed with this chaotic creative journey, hit that like button, subscribe for more painting, rambling, and probably accidental ASMR. Drop a comment telling me what I should paint next, preferably before I start my 5 other projects that I am currently working on. Thank you guys for watching. Stay weird, stay art. The ending of this chapter, I'm so excited. I'm going to start a new video series titled Driven by Delulu. Your girl has not had a reliable car since my senior year of college. I'm not gonna say what happened, but I had a really nice car, broke down. I think if I make it halfway to my goal, then I will tell you guys, just because it's super embarrassing. I'm gonna be selling my art and saving up for a new car. So if you're interested, heads up for that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay Delulu kings and queens.